from Glowforge, and welcome to our next holiday business school class. There could not be a better time than right now to start selling things you make on your Glowforge. This won't come as a surprise to you, but this year shoppers are more eager than ever to support small businesses. Millions of folks choose to buy gifts from individual makers instead of large corporations or big box retailers. That's a big deal. So I think you and I both understand what a big opportunity this holiday season is for creative entrepreneurs like you. Let's continue on with the second course and get you one step closer to your most successful holiday season yet. In these classes, my goal is to give you all the info you need to figure out what you're going to sell this holiday season, how to price, plan, and scale your production, and last but not least, how to build a brand and launch your online store. In the last class, we learned how to decide who your product is for, what your product is, and how you'll bring it to life using your Glowforge. So today's class focuses on 3 super important concepts. 1, pricing your products to ensure a profitable holiday season. 2, creating a sales goal based on your overhead costs. And 3, creating a production plan to help you scale for holiday demand and meet your goal. Pricing tends to be some of people's least favorite parts of selling their creations, but it doesn't need to be a major pain point. It just requires a little planning. I recently spoke to 3 incredible Glowforge small business owners and asked them about their approach to pricing. Taylor from Carved Woodworks, for example, makes incredible custom maps, and he made $20,000 last November and December alone by sticking to a high profit margin for his work. He said, "I aim for my profit margins to be over 80% since manufacturing is so time consuming, which is why I try to stay in the custom lanes. My maps, soundwave boards, and wood postcards are all examples of highly customizable items that I land at over 80% with." And Taylor's best advice? Get your cost of goods sold, how much it costs you to produce one product, down as much as you can without compromising the quality of the product. Working on razor thin margins is just not worth it when starting out small. Value your work and your time. In fact, valuing your own time and work and pricing accordingly was a common theme when I spoke to our most successful business owners. So keep that in mind. Are you still feeling intimidated? Not to worry. Let's price out our ugly sweater ornament from last class. First, we have some upfront costs for every single ornament. Material costs. I can fit 8 ornaments on 1 sheet of proof-grade maple plywood, which costs $22 a sheet, so that's $275 per ornament. Then finishing material costs, I'll use ribbon that costs $4 for 10 yards or 7 cents for a 6-inch piece per ornament. And labor and time costs, $20 an hour with 12 minutes of printing time and 2 minutes of finishing time per piece. That's $4.67 per ornament. Our total costs are $7.49 per ornament. Depending on where you sell, you may also need to factor in things like craft fair entry fees or shipping costs into your bottom line. For our ugly sweater ornament, after doing some market research by browsing the web for similar products, I've decided on a markup of about 200%, which lands me at $15 per ornament. I'll also charge $2 more for customization, so $17 per customized ornament. That gets me a profit of between $8.85 and $10.85 per ornament. Assuming a 50% mix of generic and customized, I'll see an average of $9.85 profit each, which is about a 75% profit margin. Here's another super Glowforge business owner example. Marissa from the Sunny Nest Decor already had a home decor business when she got her Glowforge several years ago, but the addition helped her have her biggest holiday season ever by tenfold. Her existing audience was pumped about her new ability to offer custom goods. Here's what she had to say about pricing. A lot of it comes down to market analysis and what else is selling that's similar. Think of it like a house, she said. It's appraised, the actual value of the product plus any extra materials added, and then you compare relative comps. That's how I try to price and try to stay competitive without selling myself short and keeping my margins high. Smart. Or depending on your products, you might want to take a slightly different approach. Norman from Team Lawler Customs says the holiday season is huge for their custom family name wall signs, cigar and whiskey Glencairns, and charcuterie boards, such that his products are sold out 2 months in advance. He takes a different approach to pricing. He says, when I offer a new product, I tend to price lower than expected to see if there's a demand. If there turns out to be a good amount of interest, I will price up based on the customer's design request. The picnic tables I make are a perfect example of this journey. Pricing is not only by customer demand, but access to supplies. The lumber shortage has really affected my pricing, but being completely transparent with my customers allowed for more trust to be built. Therefore, they were more understanding and agreed to the increase, he said. That's great advice. Many people purchase a Glowforge with the goal of paying it off in a specific amount of time, for example, 6 months. If you do the math, a Glowforge who will print for you 24 hours a day is a real bargain. It makes sense that a Glowforge is many owners' employee of the month. When can you consider that you've paid off your Glowforge though? For the purpose of this class, we mean when the profit we've made selling things we've created with our Glowforge exceeds the price we paid for the printer. We know that people pay off their Glowforge in as little as a few weeks by just selling the right products to the right target market at the right price point. Here's a real life example for you. Juliana from Crafting Zen makes gorgeous cufflinks and earrings and uses her side business as a way to relax after her full-time job and her role as mother to 4 kiddos. So she didn't put too much pressure on herself to earn her Glowforge back quickly, and then she totally surprised herself. She said, I kept seeing those stories of people paying them off quickly, and I decided I would be happy paying it off within the year. And then I ended up paying it off within 2 months. I love hearing stories like that. So now that you know what your product is and how much you can profit per sale, how many would you have to sell to pay off your Glowforge? Taking our ugly sweater ornament example, it's not as many as you might think. A Glowforge Basic is $29.95 divided by an average profit of $9.85 per ornament. That's about 305 ornament sales to break even. Keep in mind that with small, affordable, widely appealing, and customizable products like these, made with our family who buys matching holiday sweaters target market in mind, many people will purchase more than one. So factors like shipping or time costs like meeting folks to exchange goods might be far less than 300 individual transactions. Once you set your sales goal, you need to make a production plan. Consider, how many hours will it take to produce the number of units you want to sell? How many hours a day do you want to work on your Glowforge business? Can you hire help to do simple finishing tasks like removing masking paper or cleaning up digital files? In our example, I'm going to order my Glowforge today in mid-September and start printing on October 1st. Assuming each of my ornaments takes 12 minutes on average to print, I need to plan to print for about 60 hours. I should also plan for several hours of finishing time to remove the protective masking from my proof grade material and to cut and tie the ribbons. If I start printing on October 1st and print 2 hours a day, I'd have printed the stock I need to pay off my Glowforge by the end of the month. And if I printed for 5 hours a day, I would have that stock in 12 days. That's not bad at all. I talked to Sumita and Anuj, a husband and wife duo who run a side business aside from their full-time careers in law and sales called Homebound Custom Decor. They have one of those accidental business stories where they discovered the demand for a product and then just jumped on it. They posted something they made on Instagram and everyone wanted to buy it, and their business started overnight. Today, they're total pros with some tips that I just had to share with you. Here's what they said. Our number one seller is the engraved recipe board. We take handwritten recipes that folks submit a picture of, isolate the handwriting, and convert it into a file that we can engrave on a cutting board or block of wood. We prepare in advance by 1, purchasing our cutting board blanks well in advance and stocking up. We buy 500 cutting boards at one time. And 2, we hire virtual assistants that can clean up each recipe for us to save time. While you don't need to have a graphic design background to be in this space, it's definitely a time saver if you know your way around Photoshop. So we hire some extra help so they can focus on isolating the handwriting for us. So all we have to do is upload the recipe into Glowforge and hit print. Nice. I love this part. Sumita and Anuj paid off their Glowforge Pro within 30 days, and they were so excited about their success that they purchased a second one, which they paid off in the next 60 days with the profits from their blossoming custom cutting board business. And I love their tip about hiring virtual assistants. Here are some more tips to make the most of your time and your profit margin. Shop around for materials and consider buying in bulk. Use those materials efficiently. The camera on the inside lid of the Glowforge makes that easy. Pre-print everything except the customization, so when the custom orders come in, you're ready to finish with a quick print rather than a full batch. This is especially smart during the holidays when you'll likely receive a ton of last-minute orders if you can offer same-day and expedited shipping. Experiment in the Glowforge software to find the most efficient way to print. Consider using material scraps to create a whole other product line without overhead material costs. For example, you could create earrings with scraps left over from a larger product, and the overhead costs for those would be essentially free. If you haven't yet picked up a Glowforge printer, keep in mind that the Glowforge Pro can print up to 2 times the top speed of a Glowforge Plus and 3 times the speed of a Glowforge Basic. Here's another quick example of a business plan with a few differences. This time I'm going to create a higher priced product that takes longer to print and price it with that same profit margin. So today we'll do custom engraved slate cheese boards. The material costs are $25.99 for 6 slate cheese boards or $4.44 per cheese board. Finishing material costs, none, and labor and time is $20 an hour with 25 minutes print time, 0 minutes finishing time. That's $8.33 per cheese board. All that said, that puts us at $12.77 for a cheese board. For this product, I'm sticking with that markup of about 200% again, and after looking at some competitive products, I plan to price these at $30 each. So if that sounds steep, keep in mind that something like this sold at big box kitchenware shops can cost 3 times as much, and that's without the customization. With a price of $30, we're looking at a profit of $17.23. That's almost a 75% profit margin. So to pay off a Glowforge Pro for $5,995, we're looking at 350 cheese boards, or a Plus at $3,995, we're selling 232, or a Basic at $2,995, selling 175 cheese boards. For our production planning, 175 cheese boards at 25 minutes each will take 72 hours. 232 at 25 minutes each will take 96 hours, and 350 at 25 minutes each will take 144 hours of printing. So even doing just 2 hours a day and starting on October 1st, you could print the stock you need to pay off a Glowforge Pro by December 1st. Are these numbers or days or hours scaring you? Remember, your Glowforge does most of the work for you. While your Glowforge is printing, you can be packing orders, responding to order inquiries, or staring in disbelief at your increasing bank balance. Angie from The Freckled Builder has some great advice about the process that helps her produce enough of her popular custom Color Me chain necklaces, which she prints on her Glowforge and sells particularly well around the holidays. Angie says, work smarter, not harder. Set yourself up in a way that you're able to complete your orders with ease. Set up a system where everything has its place and turn. A clean workspace tends to be key most of the time. Thinking about working smarter and not harder, many shipping companies will actually come collect your packages from your door, eliminating trips to drop them off. USPS will even ship you packaging materials for its priority mail service free of charge, giving you more time to delight your customers. Another thing to consider is making items that can sell after the holidays so that whatever the season, your design can be adapted to suit. Shar from The Charmed Maker is a full-time engineering student and business owner. She got a Glowforge just last year to help support her passion for art. She designs her business around batch creation, and to avoid the holiday shipping rush, she has a clever holiday policy. When I talked to Shar, she said, "My small business mainly makes earrings, and those thrive all year round. They especially thrive around November. It's important to keep in mind that many people shop for others, and I try to make sure that all my items are accessible and out in a timely fashion. Making things in bulk is my favorite part of the Glowforge. Batch creation is key in the holiday months. In fact, I shut down my shop mid-December so that I don't even run into any shipping issues." That's smart. Wow, we really packed that one full of info. You just heard from 7 creators who know how to make the most of the holiday season. But that's just the very beginning of what's possible. We've covered how to plan for the holiday rush in advance, producing quickly enough to keep up with the demand, and the nitty-gritty of pricing for maximum profit. Now you've got the tools you need to put your big idea on the market. And this is just the second class. Whew! Next session, we'll be talking about building your brand, marketing yourself, and starting your own online store. I'll see you there.